Dear viewers, thank you very much for stopping by once again. This is still Nelly's TV, where we bring you news and history analysis for your information and consumption. All right, I want to use this opportunity to thank all our subscribers for identifying with us. We must tell you that we don't take your support for granted. It is really very important to us, and we appreciate you very sincerely and immensely for that. Thank you very much. And if you've not subscribed, please, we want to use this opportunity to crave your indulgence to please hit the subscribe button so that as we produce our subsequent videos, you will get notified. All right. Thank you very much. So let's go into what we have today. People, we have tried to let us know, and we will continue to do that, to let us know that the best thing that can happen to anybody who still claims that he is a Nigerian is to begin to talk about how he or she can live a fulfilled life. Because as far as Nigeria is concerned, you are not living a fulfilled life. You will not notice this so long as you are in Nigeria. You will not notice this until you travel out of Nigeria. When you will begin to notice this is at the border, entering into the next country, then you see the kind of treatment you receive just because you are carrying a Nigerian passport. They don't respect you. They don't respect you at all when you carry a Nigerian passport. It is very humiliating. The next time you will experience it, that you are not living the life of a citizen of any country, is when you enter another country and stay there to live. I bet you by the time you see how the country functions, you begin to ask yourself, so do you mean that a country can function properly like this and I have not been enjoying it in Nigeria? Because you can never experience the good functionality that is seen in any other country in Nigeria. It is not there. It's not just there. All right. What thrives in Nigeria till today is corruption. Corruption and corruption and corruption. And it is also the corruption that metamorphosed into the insecurity we now experience in Nigeria today. And corruption will never allow Nigeria to fight this insecurity head on. It will never happen because Nigeria is a totally corrupt enclave created by Britain, tutored by Britain. Britain taught Nigerian politicians corruption, but they went back to their country and fought against corruption. And even if their politicians practice corruption, they punish the person. So you don't practice corruption in Britain, but they encourage Nigerian politicians to practice corruption because they know that so long as Nigerian politicians remain corrupt, they will never checkmate the evil activities of Britain in Nigeria, which is basically stealing the natural resources from the soil of Nigeria without paying adequately for it. That's what they do. They are thieves. So they can only do that with corrupt politicians. They discuss with them and tell them, we give you some share and you make yourself rich. So Nigerian politicians stupidly accept to enrich themselves at the expense of their own countries and citizens. But there in Britain, Britain is interested in enriching the country and their citizens. That is the difference. So Britain practices corruption in Nigeria, but doesn't practice it in their own country. And Nigerian politicians are very stupid to allow that to be happening. There is no how such a country will ever develop. And we're going to show you more neck-deep corrupt practices going on in Nigeria. A very strong reason for you to begin to ask to break out of that system, because it will never change tomorrow. Never. There is no amount of election that will make anybody that goes into any position to change it. because Britain is still there controlling the affairs of Nigeria. Now look at this. Our sister Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie has started, decided to lend her voice recently following the hardship in Nigeria today. And this hardship, as you know, was basically created by corruption in high places perpetrated by the political leaders. So today, Tinubu has clearly made Nigeria a very dry enclave, very poor. Nigeria remains the poverty capital of the whole world. It started during Buhari's time, and Tinubu has even deepened it. Tinubu has increased the pain of hardship in Nigeria. So, and according to Chimamanda's assessment, the economic hardship in the country has made the middle class in Nigeria now beggars. So the middle class that was supposed to be the people living in between the poor and the rich are now beggars in Nigeria because their income, their salaries cannot take them home anymore. All right. By the time you buy fuel or buy other things that depend on fuel, whose prices have skyrocketed ever since this criminal called Tinubu came into power, you won't be left with any other thing to take care of your family. You will be empty-handed. So those who hitherto found themselves in the middle class and used to enjoy their lives, all right, they are now beggars in Nigeria. And that is true. But what do we do? Unfortunately, if you ask people like this, they will tell you, let's vote in P2B. As if P2B is going to perform any magic against Britain. It is not going to be possible. The only way out is to find your way out of that enclave called Nigeria. Once we break out and remain the way we were before the white man came, Britain will have nowhere to continue to manipulate. So we will become totally in control of our resources and hold anybody responsible who wants to steal the resources into his private purse, like what is going on today in Nigeria. The politicians are just stealing after stealing. They steal, they hand over the position to their criminal political friends to continue stealing and continue to protect the one they stole when they were in office. And that is a vicious cycle that has kept going on up till now. And except we break that enclave, this vicious cycle will never stop. It will continue. Let's listen to this news. Recently, Tinubu approved the renovation of Murtala Muhammed Airport, Lagos, the busiest airport in Nigeria, which is almost dilapidated. All right. Okay. But remember that this international, Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Lagos, has been renovated recently during Buhari's tenure. Okay. A lot of money was spent, as you are going to hear in this news, in renovating this airport. But now Tinubu has budgeted for its renovation again. And the amount that is going to be spent on only this renovation work is going to blow your mind. So let's listen to the news.
Currently drowning in debt, inflation, and mass poverty, has decided to spend 712 billion naira.
712 billion naira to renovate, just renovation work on the airport. Now listen up.
Which is about $500 million to renovate.
That is about $500 million for renovation work only in the airport. Listen up.
Renovate a single airport terminal, not to build a new one, not to expand aviation to underserved places like Calabar or Mina, just to renovate Terminal 1 of Murtala Muhammed International Airport.
Good. Remember, This renovation work is not the entire airport. It is just to renovate one terminal of the airport. Are you getting it? Just one terminal of the airport is costing 712 billion naira in renovation.
Yes, it's old. Built in 1979, but didn't we already spend 106 billion naira
106 billion naira was spent in the renovation of this same airport during Buhari's regime.
rehabilitating it under the Buhari administration? So what happened? Did it crumble under a decade? Now they claim it is structurally weak and must be stripped to its carcass. Stripped?
Oh my goodness. So, what this young man is trying to present here is that this renovation work is just for one terminal of the entire airport, and it is gulping 712 billion naira. Okay, now look up here. Up here, you see this. Ghana built a brand new ultra-modern terminal at Kotoka International Airport for only $250 million. $250 million was spent by Ghana in building an ultra-modern terminal at Katoka International Airport, an entirely new terminal, like the one they are going to be renovating in Nigeria. Ghana spent only $250 million, but Nigeria is going to be spending 2 times this amount, about $500 million, just to renovate one terminal. What is the sense in it? Just tell me, just make it make sense to me that this man is going, Tinubu is going to be spending 2 times what it took Ghana to build one terminal fully complete from scratch to finish, just to renovate one terminal in Nigeria. This is how they steal money. There is no wisdom, there is no explanation, there is no logic that can explain why they are spending this huge amount of money just to renovate that airport. And tomorrow, you will still find out that the renovation work was shabbily done, shabby. They will do a shabby work, and the rest of the money will go into the pockets of just a few persons. And people will continue to use a half-baked airport. That is Nigeria for you.
Or looted? They justify it by pointing to JFK's $19 billion upgrade in New York. Newsflash, we're not.
Okay. In New York, there was a $19 billion upgrade of their international airport there. So what else exactly is Nigeria renovating that it is spending 712 billion naira? That is $500 million. That is a question that needs to be answered. But who's going to answer it? Of course, nobody. Because if you ask them, if you talk too much, they will get you arrested and thrown into prison, into detention. That is a place they call a country, right? It is not a country. Countries don't function like that. That place is a corrupt enclave that doesn't have any form of concern or responsibility to its citizen. Nigeria is a useless entity.
New York. We don't have 24-hour power. Hospitals are falling apart. Doctors are threatening to strike. Nurses already have. This isn't infrastructure, it's dysfunction at scale. And the real punchline, Ghana, just right next door, built a brand new ultra-modern terminal at Kotoka International Airport for $250 million. That's half of what Nigeria is spending just to.
So he's repeating the news, all right? That Ghana built an ultra-modern terminal from start to finish at $250 million. But Nigeria is spending $500 million to build what? Only to renovate an already existing terminal.
To renovate. Let me repeat, Ghana got a new terminal, 6 air bridges, 5 million passenger capacity, top-class amenities for half of the price of our renovation. So what exactly are we renovating? The terminal or corruption itself? Who got the contract?
Of course, they are renovating corruption because they are going to steal this money and share among themselves. They are not renovating any tangible thing. They will just do one or two shabby jobs there, and that will mark the end. The rest of the money will enter into the purses of a few individuals up there. They are all thieves, and Nigeria is just a business estate.
CCECC, again, no open bidding, no detailed project plan, just an announcement. This
Good.
isn't development, it's
So the winner of the contract is CCECC, and according to this report, there was no bidding, there was no advert. They just woke up one day and announced it and gave it to CCECC. That's what they do. So they have entered into alliance with CCECC to do this shabby thing and share the money. That is Nigeria for you.
designer looted with duty-free perfume. Opposition parties are shouting, civil society is fuming, and the National Assembly likely still humming Bola on your mandate, we shall stand. While our
Of
future
course,
is
the National Assembly is a rubber stamp. They can't do anything. Anything that goes, goes. All right? Because, of course, they are not there for the people, they are there for their pockets. Criminals who call themselves honorables.
mortgage. Let's be clear, this isn't about passengers or progress. It's a vanity project for the elite, a golden toilet for public funds. We're not against infrastructure, we're against daylight robbery dressed as development. 712 billion naira to renovate, that's not renovation, it's a renovation of rot. Because if this flies, it's not just planes taking off, it's our priorities, our common sense, and our future.
Okay, so, but the question here is, if you ask this guy, what do you think is the solution to this unnecessary corrupt practices going on in the country? He will tell you, he will start quoting government. Let there be a change in the law. Let there be an election of another person who will have the mind, who is going to have the mind to do the right thing. Even if they put somebody that has the mind to do the right thing into the office, given 6 months, he will become corrupt. Why? Because the foundation of Nigeria is corrupt. Britain built Nigeria on corruption. And that is why Nigeria can never function properly. All right. So for those of you thinking and dreaming that tomorrow, maybe by some kind of election, if they elect the new coalition, ADC coalition, then somebody will make perform some kind of miracle. Who is in the ADC? Is it not the same old politicians? Atiku is there, Kwankwaso is there, Tambuwal is there, David Mark, all of them, these criminals, known criminals, they are the people in that party as well. All right. So you are talking about party as if party is the one that's going to rule the country. Is it not human beings that are going to be ruling? And the human beings there are people we already know. They are criminals. So no solution. There is no solution that can come from political activities. The only solution that is reliable at this point is for us to go back to the way we were before Britain came and created this contraption. So let's go to the next news. The next news is still based on corruption. Look at what is happening in the so-called place you call a country. Look at it. Petroleum Minister Tinubu, because he's the petroleum minister of us, that's what they do since right from Obasanjo's time. The president will make himself the petroleum minister because that's where the bulk of the money comes. They are all go there to make money. Petroleum Minister Tinubu cannot account for 210 trillion naira stolen from NNPC. Okay, now how did this thing happen? There was an audit conducted for the time from 2017 to 2023, and the audit report indicated that 210 trillion naira was missing from NNPC. Recall that some time ago, NNPC went broke. The whole NNPC went broke. And for more than 6 months, NNPC could not even remit a penny to the Federation account. NNPC went as far as borrowing from Federal Inland Revenue Services in order to sustain itself. So NNPC went that low. because the corruption that began to play out in NNPC was beyond measure. Nobody has ever seen that kind of corruption. And guess who was the group managing director? It was one Kiari, one, it was Abba Kiari or something, Kiari something, a Fulani man. These Fulani people are corrupt, very professional, corrupt people. Anywhere they go, they destroy the system with corruption. And when we say it, they say we are being tribalistic. We are not being tribalistic. We are saying the truth. Kiari finished NNPC, and it was within this period that this 210 trillion naira went missing. And up till today, Kiari has not been called to account. That is the issue. I have never seen a country where people just steal flagrantly and go scot-free. Nobody calls them to account. Kiari is free. And now the National Assembly is asking the current group managing director of NNPC to come and explain how this 210 trillion naira went. What is he going to explain? And they even issued a threat, if you don't come, we will take it seriously against you. What can they do? Nothing. The only thing if they talk too much, he will just go to Tinubu and tell him, I beg, call Akpabio to tell his people to pipe low. Tinubu will call Akpabio the Senate president and call the Speaker House of Rep and tell them, please quench that matter, and the matter will die. That is the place you call a country, right? And you think this money that is being stolen like this is in your own interest? If they continue to steal money like this, when are you going to enjoy as a citizen of a country? This is why you don't enjoy in that country. This is why you can't say this is what I have enjoyed from Nigeria ever since I was born into the country. They are stealing your future here. They are stealing it. If they don't steal it directly from the Federation purse, they will borrow it from outside and share. And you remain bankrupt, you remain you remain poor, you remain wretched. I mean, look, people, if you know what is good for you, begin now to talk about how to leave that enclave called Nigeria. It is a corrupt enclave. It does not favor anybody except the corrupt politicians. This is a funny news here. Ohaneze Ndigbo rejects bill to make the Ooni of Ife and Sultan of Sokoto the permanent chairman of traditional rulers in Nigeria. Okay, but this person is saying that is a good one for Ohaneze Ndigbo. How good is it? It is just to show you that if you are an Igbo person, if you are an Igbo or you are from Biafra, these people don't regard you as anything. Nigeria does not regard you as anything. They are telling you, hey, you cannot get this, your Biafra. But then you say, okay, let me feel part of the system. Now they tell you, go and sit down. Who are you? How can they make a bill? This means this is going to be a National Assembly bill, a national bill, a national law, saying that the Ooni of Ife and the Sultan of Sokoto will become the permanent chairman of traditional rulers in Nigeria. So where is the place of the Ezes of Ndigbo? Where is their place? Where is the place of the Igwes? So this is to tell you that you are not even a second class citizen. You are third class, or not. You don't even have a class in Nigeria. But when I see people of Igbo or Biafra extraction shouting, we should remain in the same Nigeria, I begin to look at them as, are these people really, are they really normal? Because I don't see how a normal person will be reasoning like that. You want to remain in a society where you are not welcome, where you are not recognized, where you are not respected, where you are not regarded as part of the system at all. You are not looked at as a citizen. You are looked at as something they should just spread on the ground and mash on and pass. That's the way they look at you. Anywhere you go, they organize themselves to attack you. Go to the north, they will attack you in the north. Go to Yoruba land, they will attack you there. and yet you are insisting you must remain there. You are one with them. You will remain one until they cut off your head. This is what they keep doing. You know, they have been unaliving our people in large numbers. Recently, I saw this man called Zenko. Zenko went and bought 60 acres of land in Lagos, this same Lagos that they are destroying the properties belonging to Igbos. Zenko went there and bought 60 acres of land that he wants to build his business empire. Tomorrow they will demolish it and he will come on social media and begin to shout. This was the same thing that happened to Landmark. Landmark built his hotel, and today they just deliberately went to Landmark, where Landmark built his hotel, and said they were constructing coastal road from Lagos to Calabar. That wasn't the original route of that coastal road. But they just went there in order to demolish Landmark's business. And they demolished it. Until today, there is no compensation. This is what Igbos do that make me wonder whether they really have sense at all. So you are an Igbo person or you are from Biafra, you keep deceiving yourself, fooling yourself that, hey, I will let us remain in Nigeria and see how we can make it work. Make what work? You can't make Nigeria work because the people who designed it right from day one never designed it to work. So stop deceiving yourself and begin to talk about your freedom. We need our freedom from Nigeria in order to form our own homogeneous country where we will respect ourselves, where the government will respect us, and we hold people accountable when they go wrong, irrespective of their political positions. We want to build a country that is like the one you people run away to abroad, in Europe, in the Americas, and wherever to go and enjoy. You can make it, you can build it yourself. The solution is not to run abroad and go and stay there. All right? The solution is not to go and stay abroad and be doing election in Nigeria. The solution is to fight the way these other countries fought for their freedom, chase away all the criminals that were making life miserable for themselves, and take over their country, create their own country, and live their lives. That is what Europe, all the countries in Europe did. They fought. They fought for their freedom. Come and fight for your freedom. It is your responsibility. The longer you continue, the more you continue to think that you can live a better life in Nigeria, the more you are deceiving yourself and daydreaming. You are just dreaming like a malaria patient. There is no road there in Nigeria. Come and support your freedom. Every Saturday, we support the freedom of Biafra by making donations. You are free to come into our channel and we show you how to make your donation every Saturday, 8 p.m. Biafran time. We are here live. We'll be streaming the donation and you make your donation no matter how much you can afford. Our people, they're up there, our government will use it to do the diplomatic consultation at the international community, while our soldiers back home will use it to get resources to dispel the terrorists that come against us, so that one day we will begin to control our territory and be free from all this contraption that Britain put us into. So that is what we have for you today, and we thank you for stopping by. Thank you very much for watching and do have a nice day. Bye for now.